The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, I'm Maricela Kelleton. This is TVWAN News.
And I am Rex Lita. Join me later in the sports segment.
In this edition, Kupiano incident under investigation. Service providers want answers, and Vipers aim to break Gurias. Investigations into the PNG Defence Force Kupiano mishap are underway. Acting Commander for NCD and Central Acting Chief Superintendent Laimo Asi said an investigation team went to Kupiano on Tuesday, July 4, on the day of the incident. A joint police and military investigation team have now cordoned off the crime scene to ascertain the circumstances leading up to the fatal shootings. Acting Commander for NCD and Central Acting Chief Superintendent Laimo Asi said the situation has been under control since Tuesday because the incident happened among the soldiers themselves. Asi confirmed the 12 people who were part of the exercise that turned fatal were arrested. Detectives have also identified the soldier responsible for discharging the live ammunition that killed and injured the victims. Acting Commander Asi said details of the suspect implicated in the shootings will be released to the media once he is criminally charged by the investigation team. Asi says the incident is unfortunate and unprecedented and is expecting a thorough probe by investigators. The acting commander said this incident is a first of its kind, where PNGDF soldiers were killed in a training in a blue-on-blue situation. This means that soldiers were killed by friendly fire from their own forces. Asi said the findings of the investigation team will bring some closure to the families and relatives of the deceased and the injured victims. Asi visited the soldiers in Kupiano and addressed them after the unfortunate incident. He expressed sorrow and thanked the soldiers for cooperating with their superiors and the police. Disgruntled service providers across Medan province gathered in front of the Provincial Treasury Office today wanting definite answers to the stance of their outstanding claims and payments. This forced officers to lock the gate to the Treasury Office, and police were called to address any security issues. The service providers want clarification on when their bills will be settled, some of which date back almost 2 years.
Disgruntled service providers stormed Medan's Treasury Office on Thursday seeking clarification on where their claims will be settled. They claim that some delayed payments go back to at least 15 months, affecting respective business operations. They say amounts owed range between 100,000 kina to more than 1 million kina, depending on the type of service rendered to the provincial administration. Former public servant Hood Casas said this is the first time that service providers had to wait it out, without any clear indication on when payments would be made. While in the past it took 3 to 4 months to settle, it has nearly taken 2 years to have his outstanding bills settled.
Me look in this line, me first time lo history, lo this lab, government lo madang. Come up long all service providers you know kusim service. Na payment only you know kusim. Na me one plus service provider me know I'm a month long.
The standoff and protest lasted nearly 4 hours before Provincial Financial Manager George Memke came out of the locked gates to address the crowd. Mr. Memke clarified any confusion and explained the claims process and time frame in which a claim can be held under his custody.
Well, now yet we can talk through the blossom. We don't want to claim the stuff here. Work me long, help him long, moving in a fast track in payment process. No long, we sit down and have one claim na delay. So now you black simbele we know you back long.
However, this did not go down well with the disgruntled crowd. More questions were raised with threats of legal action.
Now, 7 months now. Since law administration we start, we play no say. First check lo this year or any financial year, we play all say number 2 month, number 3 month. Now I'm number 7 man. Now we play all service providers too. We play team also. You play triple man. Governor, PA, now you.
Meantime, police quelled the rowdy crowd and urged that they convene discussions on another day with the concerned parties. The service providers have agreed for a meeting with Mr. Memke, Provincial Administrator Frank Lau, and Medellin Governor Ramsey Pariwa next Tuesday, July 11, at the Bates Oval. Craig Kaviagu, TVWAN News.
A struggling new high school situated in Ward 4 of West Okapa LLG in the Eastern Highlands Province has for 7 years been working on building vital school infrastructure, including staff housing. Eventually, with the support of the government tuition fund grant, Tarabo Evangelical Lutheran Day High School managed to build 14 staff houses and a home economics building. School principal John Boy Rakfa is proud of this achievement, which resulted from good partnerships with the education department, contractors, and the district and provincial government.
Tarabo Evangelical Lutheran Day High School in West Okapa LLG of Eastern Highlands Province used 560,000 kina of government tuition fund grant and donated funding to build vital infrastructure for teachers and students. It was not easy though. They spent 7 years trying to accomplish this. Between 2019 and 2020, the school opened the home economics classroom, which cost close to 60,000 kina. To date, they have built 14 staff houses. School principal John Boy Rafka said its house cost 50,000 kina.
14 house, and picking up all materials, hardware materials, locally. It's a very expensive costing exercise we plan taking.
Mr. Rafka thanked the government for seeing the need and giving the school the support it needed.
To me, giving big looks having a talk, thank you to the former government to you. I need leadership of Peter Numu and fund him 200,000. Now Jimmy got him 2-in-1 classroom and completed and I wait him ribbon cutting.
They look forward to opening the classroom after term 3 of this year.
So me ba Larry Mokata Pili Nigo Bekelo State want them agency Lutheran Church.
Rex Lita, TV1 News.
Papua New Guinea Forest Authority and the Internal Revenue Commission recently signed a memorandum of understanding to enable information sharing between the two agencies to address tax issues in the sector. The MOU is very timely for both agencies, especially as it complements important work reforms that the PNG FA management is progressing towards the remodeling of the sector.
Papua New Guinea Forest Authority and Internal Revenue Commission recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding to enable information sharing between the two agencies. The MOU is intended to enhance cooperation between the two parties effectively and efficiently to carry out respective and mandated obligations, provide an avenue for information sharing between the two parties in a timely manner, and work collaboratively to address tax issues in the sector. John Mosoro, the Managing Director of the National Forest Service, welcomed the signing of the MOU, saying that this is the first time for the PNG FA to take a bold step to sign such an MOU with the IRC. He emphasized the importance of having sectoral partnerships to address cross-sector issues that impede on the government to effectively deliver services to the people. This would be a first of many partnership dialogues undertaken by PNG FA and IRC to work in supporting information and data to assist in the administration of addressing tax issues present in the forest sector. The MOU will enable the effective and efficient undertaking of monitoring, compliance, and reporting roles for both agencies that can translate to better development outcomes. The MOU is very timely for both agencies, especially as it complements important work reforms that the PNG FA management is progressing towards the remodeling of the sector. The MOU will be reviewed after 5 years. Craig Kabiagu, TV1 News.
Teachers from East Okapa and West Okapa LGs attended a recent week-long training on standard-based curriculum at Tarbo Primary School. Okapa District Education Manager Dick Penai and Senior Inspector Basic Education Mupe Kaupa opened the training for more than 300 teachers.
360 teachers from schools in East and West Okapa LLG in Eastern Highlands Province congregated at Tarabo Primary School in West Okapa recently for in-service training in standard-based curriculum, an exercise that is being conducted for most primary schools across the country as the Education Department prepares to fully implement the SBC in 2024. Okapa Standard School Inspector Helen Hutu said the in-service was revived for Okapa District. Upskilling of teachers to present the SBC in the classroom was lacking. Hutu said this meant that learning becomes hard for students because teachers cannot plan lessons.
Our theme now is Okapa teachers, regardless of the sector, either elementary, primary or high school, TVET, we don't count a sector. Now we are all one team under education.
Facilitator and headmaster of Dr. Alpha's Memorial Primary School, Omar Koka, said they facilitated on planning and programming with teachers, introduced SBC terminologies, took assessments and unpacked lessons from Teacher's Guide from yearly, weekly and termly overview and lessons planning.
That after this training course, they'll be able to come up with all these things and even timetabling. It's not only primary schools that we are interested in, it is also the elementary sector as well as the secondary schools. And they want more trainings to be done.
Facilitators said the refresher really helped teachers over the 3 days of intense workshop. There are plans to hold an in-service training for Okapa teachers each year with subject content. Rex Lita, TV1 News.
You're watching TV1 News. After the break, PNG inspired by Indonesia and first climate-proof wharf opened.
It was during and after COVID that really motivated me to want to take up life insurance. I think savings is very important, and I think One Talk Delight provides a disciplined approach to savings, and it's a good investment to want to think about the future because it's always nice to have plans for what you want to do later on.
With you for life.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale race, family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles cause it's our favorite reminder. Amber, you like it?
Papua New Guinea. We love a reason for a family gathering. A reason to play. A reason to ignite the flame. A reason to cook the best with the best. Flame Oil, now PNG made for PNG cooking. Flame Oil, winning taste.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
Tao Morgan in the corner. Look at the fullback fly. They won't catch him. Tyrell Sloan.
Rapida goes to Timokor. There's nobody in front of him, and he's going to run away. Young trying to reach out. He put it down. Hudson Young, there he is.
Champion in the making.
Cook to the line. Cook scores the try. Payne Haas is back there. It doesn't matter. It bounced. The five Reds coming together here. New South Wales are back.
Welcome back. Papua New Guinea intends to draw inspiration from Indonesia's economic model as the country transitions into an industrialized economy through manufacturing, downstream processing and value adding. Prime Minister James Marape made these remarks when highlighting outcomes of the recent bilateral meet with the President of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, in Port Moresby.
As the only nation sharing a land border, Prime Minister James Marape said it is our responsibility to build the necessary relationship that yield mutually beneficial outcomes. He says this entails not only focusing on border security, but also capitalizing on business, trade, investment, cultural and social issues, supporting economic infrastructure, energy sharing, and agriculture, which are the cornerstones of our economics. Marape said the inaugural Papua New Guinea Indonesian Investment Forum serves as a vital mechanism for private sector cooperation, complementing the government's development plans and initiatives.
Whilst the global West may be different, Papua New Guinea and Pacific West is in you, and the Asia region close to us. You are our link to the Asian nations. You've continuously maintained support to us in APEC and ASEAN. You have been a very effective link to us in commerce, trade, and government-to-government engagements with our real West. And you are amongst friends, you're amongst family, because our people share ancestry, our people share land, our people share sea. We're from one common space on planet Earth, and the Indo-Pacific conversation, in the heart of it lies the Republic of Indonesia and Papua New Guinea.
The Prime Minister also announced that people-to-people relations have also been further enhanced through visa exemptions for diplomatic and official passport holders, with the potential for expansion to private citizens and investors in the near future.
It was a very, very warm and fruitful bilateral engagements that we are concluding. His arrival this morning, received at the airport and honored by a 21-man gun salute. His engagement with myself in our private recess, and of course our combined engagements, him leading his Indonesian delegation and me leading our Papua New Guinea delegation, was concluded very, very well.
The Prime Minister is deeply satisfied with the outcome of his consultations with President Widodo and encouraged government ministers, officials and business community to diligently implement the discussed initiatives and report on their progress accordingly. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Meantime, Prime Minister Marape has announced that Indonesia is opening up its market to agriculture produce, particularly oil palm and livestock, and urged commodity boards and farmers to increase production to meet the huge demand from them.
To go and look into the mineral and petroleum and forestry and agriculture downstream processing they have in Indonesia, and together we partner also to ensure we move into the downstream space, utilizing capacity, business, expertise, and more importantly, market back to Indonesia, a market of 280 million people.
Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso on Thursday, July 6th, opened Papua New Guinea's first climate-proofing provincial wharf in Alotau, Milimbe Province. During the opening, DPM Rosso said it was an honor to open this great infrastructure for the people of Milimbe. The state-of-the-art infrastructure is a pilot project built in partnership with the Milimbe Provincial Government, Climate Change Development Authority and the Asian Development Bank at a cost of 36 million kina. Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso at the opening of the wharf said less rhetoric is needed. More needs to be done about climate change. He further stated the opening is an auspicious testimony of what the government is doing to address climate change throughout the country. He commended the Minister for Environment, Conservation and Climate Change, Simon Kilepa, for taking the task to hand in addressing climate change. The climate-proofing wharf is the first of its kind throughout the country that took at least 10 months to build. 66-year-old Sister Martha Marampau, who has been serving as a nurse for 47 years, believes that nursing is one of the most valued and honorable professions in the world. The long-serving health worker, who has already submitted her papers for retirement, is encouraging upcoming health workers to serve with compassion.
Sister Mata Marampau trained as a nurse at the Lemakot School of Nursing in Kavieng, New Island Province. It has been 47 years since she started her journey, but she still holds to her heart the true values of being a nurse. Originally from Manus Province, she started her career in rural PNG and said it always breaks her heart when patients come in for treatment, but there is no one to serve them.
There is no bed on the bed. Patients are left alone, no one to see them. You know, just every time I pray to God that one day all these things will change. I'm sorry. I know that by me go, but what in time saying is we need changes. Encouragement by me go along, they have to do better in order to save more community by more patients by me. I have seen me looking finished. Now will look like I'm no God. Sanessing came draw. No God. There's a lot of things that it needs to be changed.
Nurses are frontline responders when a patient goes to a health facility. They are the first ones to see them and will neither treat them or refer them. Nurses are compassionate and are in the profession to help people, not for personal gain. Sister Marampau has no regrets. She was one of the long-serving nurses and community health workers who emotionally witnessed the commemoration of the Golden Jubilee of the PNG Nurses Association on May 12 in Leh.
Because we play work one time, good time, good part time, no time no good, we play work one time, so we wish him all kata, we go finish, a time long will come, we must work good.
Sipa, TVWAN News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2800 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2725 US, $0.4083 Australian dollars, $0.2426 euro, and 38.89 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed lower except coffee and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. This is TV1 News. Stay tuned. We'll have news from around the region when we come back.
There's a sense of pride when you're able to do something right, a financial decision that has just really good benefits. With BSP Life Insurance, there's that alleviation of that worry when you pass away. The benefits of the BSP Life Insurance would meet those expenses on behalf of my family. If you're young and you have kids, you owe it to your children to make sure they're not left behind when you pass on.
With you for life. He loves the Maroons.
He loves the blues. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Hiya, Mama. You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Hardware House launches the low-cost quick build kit home, built with quality building materials from the leading manufacturer of steel products and kit homes, Atlas Steel. Going now at introductory prices: 1-bedroom kit home at 79,000 kina, 2-bedroom kit home at 99,900 kina, and 3-bedroom kit home at 125,000 kina. You can also opt for solar units to be installed in the kit home at an extra charge. For more information, email info@hardwarehouse.com.pg.
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
Champion in the making.
That's a human steamroller right there. Perenada, raging hot.
What's Henny Zalesniak? Trademark in the corner.
It's Johnston. Beautiful catch. It's Alex Johnston.
Flanagan's gone down the short side and he scores against his old club.
Welcome back. In regional news, there's been a surge in the number of children across the state going to the hospital with flu-related illnesses. In some cases, otherwise healthy children are being admitted to intensive care.
There were nearly 7,000 flu cases in the last reporting period. That's a more than 30% increase on the week before and an uptick for every age group. Health experts are most worried about school-aged children, who made up about half of all emergency department presentations for flu-like illnesses. That's because the type of flu circulating most right now, influenza B, tends to be more severe in young people. Since May, 16 children have been admitted to intensive care, some needing heart-lung bypass machines.
It really is palpable, the concern the clinicians have had. That's what really motivated us to come out today, is the fact that the clinicians have really seen this rise in cases. They've been particularly distressed because they've been previously healthy children.
In New South Wales, 5 to 16-year-olds don't qualify for free flu jabs, and most haven't had one. Families are being advised to get up to date on vaccinations before the school holidays come to an end.
Case numbers have risen sharply across most of Australia for a virus that can have serious consequences for the young, old and immunocompromised. Tens of thousands of Australians are known to have contracted RSV this year, but experts say the surge in case numbers isn't necessarily cause for alarm.
It might not be as well known as COVID or the flu, but respiratory syncytial virus can pack a punch.
Kids are miserable, flat. High fever is a good sign, and that moist cough, that's enough for the parents to know that they want their kid checked out, which is absolutely fine.
For most people, RSV presents similarly to the common cold, but for young children and the elderly, the consequences can be more severe, potentially leading to pneumonia or bronchiolitis. And up to 3% of little ones become so sick they need to be hospitalised.
That doesn't sound much, but it is a lot when you look at all the hundreds of thousands of kids we've got. Just a few hundred ending up in hospital, that puts a big strain.
Data shows that the infection numbers across the country have grown rapidly. In Tasmania, Victoria, South Australia, the Northern Territory, WA and the ACT, the number of reported cases this year is much higher than the same time last year. New South Wales has only just begun tracking the data, but has already seen nearly 30,000 cases this year, while in Queensland it's more than 17,000. But because testing and tracking the virus has stepped up significantly, it's not clear how concerning the current situation is.
We haven't been tracking RSV numbers for very long. It only became notifiable in 2021. So we don't have that long record of what is usual.
Epidemiologists are closely watching vaccines that are emerging in the US and hope they'll help to keep the virus in check once they eventually hit Australian shores.
And it's actually given to pregnant women, and it protects infants up to a year. It's not authorised in Australia yet, but it should be, so perhaps in the next 12 months we'll see that available.
In the meantime, experts have familiar advice to slow the spread of RSV, urging people to stay home if they're sick and keep up their personal hygiene.
A new pilot program is set to support victim survivors of domestic and family violence by establishing more safe, secure and affordable housing. The $2 million boost from the territory government is supported by domestic violence organizations, but all parties say more funding will be needed to fully address the issue.
Domestic and family violence and homelessness are two issues that go hand in hand. In many cases, victims are unable to leave violence because they have nowhere else to go.
There's a really small amount of rental accommodation available in Darwin. I think the current rate is about 1.2%.
It's an issue many in the space have identified as an area for improvement.
Having enough safe places for people to go, having beds in shelters, having enough shelters, having adequate housing.
The Territory Government is hoping to address the issue through a new pilot program. $2 million to provide 17 properties, which the government claims will be safe, secure and affordable. Dawn House are helping deliver the program and hope it will pave a pathway out of emergency shelters.
This is designed for people that have experienced domestic violence but maybe are over the initial trauma of it.
In the past year, 3 in 10 people experienced domestic violence assault here in the Territory. It's a rate far higher than anywhere else in the country, and it's left the NT government with little faith that its programs to address the issue will make enough of an impact on their own.
This is where I call on the Commonwealth to step up with needs-based funding. We've done an enormous amount as a jurisdiction and we'll continue to do so. But the Northern Territory needs to receive funding based on the high rates of domestic and family violence.
A step in the right direction with a long way to go.
And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Back home, regional forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern and New Guinea Islands region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain. Momase region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Highlands region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain, then scattered morning fog. And that ends the news segment. In sports with Rex, coach impressed with camp and Raka prepared for Vietnam.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Money Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Our chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus, we're ready to go.
Mipla halivim wari belong you.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features. The easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride. The bus that exceeds all expectation.
How would you describe your mother?
My mom is beautiful.
She is strong like Superwoman.
I love my mom because she always takes care of me.
My mom, she's so patient and loving. I feel she's always around.
Caring. She works so hard and always wants the best for me.
She's soft like her love.
My mom is everything, and I don't know what I'd do without her.
Softland, fragrance of a mother's love.
Hey, Rugby League fanatics! Want to watch the State of Origin game free live in Sydney? Buy a new postpaid TV kit today for only 199 kina plus a plan for as low as 85 kina monthly with equivalent deposit and go into a draw to win. So what are you waiting for? Visit our Digicel HQ shop at Gordon's on weekdays between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. or dial 1515 to speak to a TV agent to get your postpaid TV plan today. Digicel TV. More channels, more choice, more value.
Inside, right, 6 more, and they will score. And we're underway. QRL Host Plus Cup Rugby League action.
He's got Aylick on the inside.
Here's Ramsey got the flick pass. Who's gone over? Ripper from dummy half.
Got to his feet quickly. Owens knows how to kick a goal.
Maxi grabs out of the ruck, tries some fancy stuff. Why wouldn't he? Maxi Gore, the skipper.
Look at this, straight through. A barnstorming run and offload for Hayes Perham.
Get the ball away. Here they come. Super counter attack back on the inside. Allison is racing away. He will score.
That's the guy. Roggy's the man.
Coming very close to the line. Unstoppable. Line running up very quickly, but here's a kick for the goal. Who else but it's Sabre?
Thanks for staying with us. In sports, over 30 top athletes successfully concluded a 10-day training camp at the National Sports Institute in Goroka this week with promising outcomes as the Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands draw nearer. Hurdles and jumps coach Luke Donatini said the purpose of the camp was to empower the athletes and assist empower the PNG coaches and have them ready for the November to December Games.
The camp was an opportunity to get everyone together and plan their final preparations and to consider which athletes can fill gaps in the team, especially in the sprint hurdle and jump events. And that's where Australian coach Luke Donatini comes in, who's a specialist hurdles and jumps coach. Coach Donatini, with his wealth of experience coupled with a remarkable athletics coaching track record, was very impressed with the attitude and enthusiasm displayed by the athletes both during theory and practical sessions. He said the camp was basically to empower athletes and to assist empower the PNG coaches and getting them ready for the Pacific Games. He said their main focus was on technical and basic drills, nutrition, and setting goals and programming.
Pretty much also getting them ready in the next 6 weeks for Nationals. Looking at our talent of the athletes that were participating over the last 10 days, Papua New Guinea is in a really good place. We sat down on many days and did a lot of work with technique. We did a lot of work with basic drills, and then we did a lot of classroom work where we worked on nutrition. We spoke about setting goals. We looked at programming as well.
The Chinese said bringing PNG-based athletes and those from training overseas was important to establish rapport with each other and coaches, which is important to building team spirit.
Brett Green, who's a head coach for Papua New Guinea, together with myself and a few others, we're sitting down working with the coaches. There's some incredible stuff already happening with the athletes who are here in PNG, those in POM, in Lae, in other provinces as well, plus the athletes who are over in America and in Australia. They've all come back, and that's what we pretty much did over the last 10 days. It's been very beneficial, I believe, for both the athletes, ourselves, but part of what we're also doing is bringing in team spirit for PNG athletics.
He said the program also includes para-athletes who are also preparing well under coach Paul Bannister. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sport.
Winning super featherweight international bout on July 15th against Xiao Tao Su is the focus for the PNG's champion boxer, Junior Kauko Raka. Victory in this bout will put Raka in the frame for future international featherweight bouts and also set a standard for the aspiring boxers training in the Raka Boxing Club. The Ho Chi Minh City bout gives Junior Raka challenges of its own, going up against one of the Chinese best in Xiao Tao Su, whom Raka has not seen him fight before, has been a concern for Raka. But man from West New Britain has been going through some video footages of Xiao Tao Su and are familiar with his strengths and weaknesses. With this, Raka is hopeful for a fair bout. PNG's featherweight boxer Raka said Xiao Tao Su enjoys counter-punching and Raka is aware of it and has been practicing how to counter-attack on this as well. Although Raka is aiming to win this fight, he doesn't know which fight would be next for him or what is thereafter for him. But one thing that he is certain about is that this fight will mean a lot to his boxing career and aspiring boxers in the Raka Boxing Club.
Pick la fight straight lomi. Mi must win him la fight. All student lomi na two or some line the country on him or some follow me up. Mi must win him la fight. So must like the play vista antalomi no lo. Pepo means salary.
This will be the second international fight for Junior Raka, who previously had a fight with the Filipino fighter. He suffered a defeat in that bout, but his coach believes that Raka has learned a lot from that fight.
Raka go and good, so I think me play go and good fight.
Sponsorship has been great compared to the previous fight in the Philippines. Raka expressed his gratitude for regional member for Bougainville, Peter Chamalili Jr., Peng Family, Jomic Trading, PNG Sports Foundation and other individuals who attended his fundraising night last week. Raka pledged to give his best in this fight to make the sponsors and committed individuals and Raka Boxing Club proud by winning the bout. Team Raka will be leaving the country over the weekend via Philippines for the July 15th bout at the Grand Ho Tram Casino and Resort, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Money Plus NCDC Port Moresby Vipers would be aiming to back themselves up with a solid performance against East New Britain Egmac Rabaul Gurius to kick off round 13 of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup in Pool B tomorrow, Saturday, at the Callabon Oval, Kokopo. After a 5-game losing streak, Vipers got themselves back in the winner's circle after holding off Guest Resources Central Dabaris to a 24-10 victory last weekend.
The pride of the nation's capital, Port Moresby Vipers, under new coach Enoch Maki, is back in the hunt if last week's performance against the Barries were anything to go by. This Saturday, the Vipers will travel to Kokopo with a plan to ambush the Gurias in front of their home crowd at the Callabon Oval. The two foundation clubs always draw big crowds every time they meet, especially in Kokopo, and this weekend won't be any difference with a bumper crowd expected. Gurias, after they were humbled by small brother Civic Pride in the inaugural Legacy Cup Challenge last week in Wiebeek, won't be taking this game lightly, with a hostile reception awaiting the big boys from Port Moresby tomorrow. Gurias have had some notable changes to their lineup in recent weeks due to injuries that saw a number of rookies making their debut, especially for home games. However, Gurias coach Francis Ray is expected to field his strongest possible lineup yet to match the Vipers' big guns. Tomorrow's match against Gurias will be Vipers' rookie coach Enoch Maki's first away game since taking over the role from Joe Sipper. After round 2 of Gurias currently lead the points table in Pool B with 16 points, while Vipers in 4th place with 10 points. After this weekend's round 13 matches, the competition will break for a week before proceeding to the cross-pool format in round 14 on the 22nd of July 2023. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Port Moresby men's softball is down to the last weekend of the elimination finals this Sunday at the Bicini Softball Park to decide who goes through to the big dance next week. While Power in A grade and Moniplus Gazelle in B grade have already booked spots in the grand final, it's crunch time for Moniplus Gazelle and United Brothers in the main A grade fixture at 1 p.m. United Brothers, coming off a loss to Power last week, are expected to regroup before they meet Gazelle, who have won their last 2 elimination finals and ready to face Brothers on Sunday. Brothers have some work to do in their batting order with good field control to give themselves a chance. In the B grade at 10 a.m., the red-hot Killer Cats are favourites to account for defence, who are coming off a loss to Gazelle last week. Gaba Gaba edged out Gaire 13 points to 11 in a 3-day Hiri Koyari netball competition yesterday to claim the inaugural championship title at the Rita Flynn Netball Court in Port Moresby. The narrow victory is in A-grade division, saw the team from Gaba Gaba coming from behind to steal the win from a spirited Gaire team. The 3-day tournament came to an end yesterday when 4 divisions vied for a championship title. Other divisions had put up entertaining matches to watch, but it was the senior division that stole the show. Gaire traveled the Gaba Gaba team with a strong show in the first half lead with 7 points to 4, but the fast-finishing Gaba Gaba team showed up in the second half to seal the win 13 points to 11. Upon taking the win, coach of the team, Bessie Mavara, said she is so excited for the win and thanked the girls for giving their best and winning the championship title from Gaire, who is one of the best teams. There were 4 divisions participating in the tournaments: Under 15, Under 17, Under 23 and A grade. All divisions played their finals yesterday. The purpose of this event is to bring mothers and young girls into participating in the event and also to pick a Hiri Koyari team to play in the Central Provincial Games in preparation for the forthcoming PNG Games later in the year. Competition Vice President Hoi Isaiah said there are some promising talents in the competition. Hopefully, they make it all the way to represent Central Province in the PNG Games. Member for Hiri Koyari, Kate Irhu, sponsored the tournament with 50,000 kina. The money will be used in pricing as well as financing the Hiri Koyari team in the Central Provincial Games. New Zealand will defend the OFC Under-19 Women's Championship against Fiji on Saturday, July 8th, after overcoming a tough Cook Islands side 5-0 at HFC Bank Stadium, Suva. Cook Islands, who beat Vanuatu in the quarterfinals, have enjoyed an incredible run to the finals for holding out New Zealand for the opening quarter of the match. Cook Islands struggled to get out from their own half, working hard to try and relieve the pressure when possible. New Zealand continued resolve to keep the scoreboard at 3-0 at halftime and shut out the Cook Islands' entire second half to win 5 goals. In the other match, Fiji overcome Samoa in a tight contest to reach the final with a 3-1 victory. Here are the highlights.
Into the goal, great work that time, 3-0, and then Fiji, Wati with a good shot, saved by Valiamu, and then Lemba worked hard, drilling that one in. Eakopo managed to save that, and then the penalty, Ariana Skia's 41st minute of play, getting one for Samoa, full time. In this first semi-final, Fiji beat Samoa 3-1.
And that ends the sports news. Over to you, Maricela.
Thanks, Rex. Tomorrow's bulletin will be at 9:30 p.m. due to the live broadcast of the NRL games. Have a safe weekend. Bye now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.